What's up, guys? How's it going? It's Matt here. So I'm actually testing out some new equipment today. So I know some of you guys are complaining in some of my videos about that background light that I had. So this is my dining room. I can't really turn it into a studio and put like a backdrop. So I do it the best I can. And we actually came across this phone clip ring light that actually seems to be working pretty good. It has 3 levels on it. I just can't look at it too long. I might lose my eyesight. When I got that set up, so tell me what you guys think of the picture. So and I'll do a video at night too. That's when I usually do the video, so you guys can take a look and just go ahead and comment whether or not the quality is a lot better or whatever it is. So anyway, guys, so I wanted to get in this video. So it's been about a week since I did a video, and I've been a lot of stuff's been going on. But basically what I want to talk about a little bit is kind of the importance of fitness and having some type of hand-to-hand skill when it comes to self-defense. Basically, this started actually at the end of my last video. I was talking to one of my followers, actually a good guy. He's actually creating his own channel too. But him and I were just talking about it a little bit, and we were talking about how I was carrying my my backup at the time and stuff like that. Then it kind of went on, and I figured I should probably cover a little bit about this. So what a lot of people think when it comes to a defense situation, it's always whenever there's like a defensive situation, the first thing that a lot of gun owners go to is, oh, I'll just go get my gun, or I'll just grab my gun and I'll be all set. And guys, unfortunately, you can't pull your gun for every situation. Say if someone pushes you or spits in your face or punches you, you can't shoot them. You just can't do that. So, and I was talking about it a little bit in the comments of that last video. Is every gunfight usually starts with a verbal altercation, then it goes with a physical altercation, and then it usually ends up to a shootout. All right. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about this. So, first I want to get a little bit into my background when it comes to this, guys. You guys know I was prior military. I did 2 tours in Iraq as a Marine Corps rifleman. I was also in Arizona Army National Guard for a while. But at the time, I was having some serious issues, just like some of the other veterans, diagnosed with PTSD and all that crazy stuff, and it's still something that I'm dealing with. So, but anyway, I had it, and one thing that happened to me is I stopped working out, and I kind of got really depressed, and I kind of fell down the tubes, I guess you could say. So I was in the Arizona Army National Guard, and I got fat. I mean, I got really, really fat. I mean, I went from getting my, when I was in the Guard, I think I was at 223 pounds at the time when I was in the Guard. I actually had lost about 30 pounds to get into the Guard at the time. And I was there, and then I had a relapse, and I actually had serious issues, and I put on a lot of weight. It just got bad. I'm not using it as an excuse. It just happened to me. It just happened. I put on a lot of weight, and I was actually about over 300 some odd pounds, which is pretty bad. I mean, I'm 6'1", 300 pounds. It's a pretty big dude, And I've always been a big guy in the first place. Even in the Marine Corps, I was always in the higher weight class, but it's because I'm just a big guy. I'm a strong guy. But 300 pounds plus, I don't even remember the full weight. Because it got to a point where I just stopped weighing myself. I actually show some pictures of it. But I was huge, all right? I couldn't even bend down and touch my toes. I mean, it was that bad. I tied my shoes, I'd be out of breath. And I got myself back into a system of, eating better and working out. And since that time, the last, I'd say about 6 years. I'll give it about 6 years. I've lost about 90 pounds. I went really hard. I tried really hard. I've gone up and downs, but at the end of the day, I lost about 90 pounds. And that's just of me doing some, working out nonstop, doing various programs through Beachbody. I was actually a Beachbody coach for a while. I'm not anymore. But, I did like, I did Insanity, and then I did, P90X3, I did 22 minutes hardcore, I did Body Beast, I did a lot of different workouts, and I got myself into a much healthier shape, where I am now. And I'm still going at it, guys. I'm still struggling, so I'm still trying to get my weight down to under 200 pounds. That's what I would love to get to. But anyway, so I want to talk to you guys a little bit about this because, when it comes to a self-defense situation, like I said, you can't just automatically go to your gun. You just cannot go to your gun from the get-go unless there's a gun drawn on you, all right? Most of the time, it's going to be some sort of physical altercation. You're trying to make your distance, or you're trying to box people out, or probably push people out of the way, or shield other people. You know, so if you are out of shape, and I'm not talking just a little bit out of shape, I'm talking like if you are out of shape, you're fat, and you're having a hard time breathing like I was at the time of tying your shoes, you are not going to be able to defend yourself very well. You're just not going to have the stamina, you're not going to have the endurance, and you're just not going to be able to, guys. You have to have some sort of physical capabilities. You have to be able to defend yourself with hand-to-hand skills. You don't need to be a freaking ninja, or a freaking jujitsu master. What you need is you need some basic hand-to-hand skills, blocks, arm bars, stuff like that. Just stuff that can help you defend yourself and help you get distance from your opponent and help you come out come out from the situation without having to shoot someone. All right. So, for example, I'm just going into this a little bit. I had one situation that I wanted to show this guy, talk to you guys about. This happened to me a couple of years ago. I was still in the process of losing a lot of weight and stuff like that too. But one thing that I was taught in the Marine Corps, this is, obviously the Marine Corps, was how to take control of a situation, how to defend myself. Number one step for a difficult situation is taking control of the situation. Taking control of the situation, then de-escalating the situation. Sometimes you have to physically de-escalate the situation. So I was actually working for an oil company at the time. I was pulling an oil hose, and I was also moving furnaces and oil tanks in the basements and stuff like that. So I was in a town, actually the town that I've talked about before, where it's a higher populated area, and it's a higher crime rate, a lot higher crime rate than out here. There's some gangs out there and stuff like that. But I was going through that town, and I needed some coffee. It was early in the morning. It was getting worn out. So when this happened, guys, this was actually this was at a McDonald's. It was actually about right across the street from the police department of this town. I was traveling through the area, and I needed some coffee. I seriously needed some coffee. So I went in, and they had like $1 coffee. So I'm like, what the hell, why not? I'll stop in real quick, grab a coffee, then move to my next job. So I go into the store, and there's no one in the store except people behind the counter. There was only a couple people behind the counter. There was no one in the store. I walked in, and there was like a wall on the left side, almost like a wall on the left side. Then you had the counter. The people behind the counter, most people were actually back. There was one person at the counter, and she just walked back behind it. It took like 5 minutes to get one cup of coffee. It was ridiculous. But anyway, so I walk in the store, and nobody's in there. I had recently heard there was a report in the area about a couple days prior. There was actually a stabbing in a very close area to that. So I was just, I'm always on the alert, guys. I'm always looking around, always being vigilant. So I'm in there, just minding my own business. I ordered the coffee. I had cash. I paid for the cash. I put it in my pocket. And then I was just standing there, and I heard the door open. And I noticed out of the corner of my eye there was two guys that were coming, and they kind of looked a little ratty. So I took a look back to see who they were. They were two Hispanic males. I'd say middle-aged Hispanic males. They were in really ragged clothing, like they were probably sleeping outside, like they were either homeless or whatever. And something just didn't seem right about the situation. I had that feeling in my body going, oh, what's something else going on here? Something just doesn't feel right. That the heebie-jeebies, whatever you want to call it. And I took a look at them, and I was reading their body language, and they were both very, very nervous. And I noticed they were both staring at me as I stared at them. So I'm just like, okay, this is kind of weird. I knew my situation. I knew where I was standing in the restaurant and whatnot, and I felt like I was in a decent place. So then I turned forward, but I was constantly keeping an eye, listening to what was going on behind me. They started talking in Spanish. I don't know enough to actually hear anything that they were saying, but I know he was saying "aquí, aquí," or something like that, like go there, or something like that. And I noticed behind me that they started splitting up. They first started coming up behind me, and they started splitting up to the either side of me. They got far. I could see one out of my peripheral vision over here, and I could see the other one over here by the wall. And I could see them slowly both moving their way close to where my wallet was. And I saw them trying to inch and trying to be very careful. I could see it from my peripheral and just kind of turn a little bit. You see what's going on. And then I noticed this guy over here was reaching in his pocket for something, and that was like, okay, this is something ain't right here. So I kind of, just by acting, I took control of the situation. All I simply did was the guy that was close enough behind me over here, I took one hand and I shoved him up against that wall, and then I moved back behind the other guy with a quick turn, and I shoved him up against the wall to the point where they almost went flying headfirst into the wall, and they're both pinned completely against the wall. Then I got myself at 10 feet away from them, and I was carrying at the time, at a decent enough distance. I didn't grab my gun, and I just stood there at a defensive position. My hands are ready, basically like this, getting ready to go, just watching them. And they went from being these aggressors to being, well, doing this. One guy was sitting on the wall. He'd look at me and he's like, nothing happening here, type of deal. And the other guy was doing the same thing. And then they walked out of the store. All right, they didn't even order anything. They were trying to rob me. I don't know if they had a gun in their pocket. I don't know if they had a knife in their pocket. You know, they were trying to rob me. And right after that, the person came back over the counter, came back with the coffee. She had disappeared behind the place for a little bit. She came back with my coffee. I grabbed my coffee. I watched them walk away, and then I went to my company vehicle and just left. All right, and that's it. I just left the scene. All right. So, me being alert of the situation, all right, prevented me from having to use lethal force. All right. Me being alert and simply reacting and having a plan and escape route. You never back yourself in a corner. Always have an escape area. The wall was over there, there's an open area here. I made it so I had room to go, but they couldn't go anywhere. And I pinned them against the wall so they couldn't do anything to me. They couldn't hurt me. And I had complete control of the situation. And because of that, I de-escalated the situation. Now, that wasn't a ton of physical training or martial arts or anything like that. But what I want to tie into that, guys, is as a concealed carry holder, you should really invest some time into some sort of hand-to-hand training. All right, it doesn't have to be freaking taekwondo or tung sudo or something like that. It's great to get into that stuff too, but I mean, you want more of grappling and actual fighting stuff like judo, aikido, hapkido, stuff like that, or Krav Maga. That's another one. You need at least some sort of training. Like me, I have MCMAP training. That's mixed martial arts, Marine Corps mixed martial arts. Prior to that, when I was a kid, I grew up with like taekwondo and karate and stuff like that. So going to mixed martial arts was kind of easy route for me. Because if you come across a situation where you will have to defend yourself, all right, lethal force is a last resort, all right? So you want to try to de-escalate the situation. You want to try to prevent having to use lethal force. So if you can stop the situation by using physical force, that's great. If you can't, then you should probably start thinking into it. Now, I want to tie all this together because, with getting yourself in good shape, all right, I'm not talking like being a freaking marathon runner, guys. You don't need to be a freaking marathon runner or a power lifter or a deadlifter or whatever you want to call it. You need to be in good practical shape, all right? If you are in good practical shape, you have good endurance, you can move quicker, all right? And if you have to defend yourself, you won't run out of steam and end up as a victim, guys. If the first thing that comes to your mind, someone is, it could be a dangerous situation. The first thing that comes to mind, pull my gun and shoot. You're wrong, all right? Some situations, yeah, you have to. Most of the time, you don't have to, all right? So if you get yourself in a decent enough shape and you have some sort of physical training, if something does happen, you can physically defend yourself and stop the situation or de-escalate the situation with force, all right, before you have to go to the firearm. Now, I'm not saying not every situation that will happen. Sometimes it's just straight up firearm. But you should really think about this, guys. So whatever it is, take on a program. There's plenty of programs out there. You can do the TV programs like I do. Like I'm doing on P90X3 right now again. You can do programs like that. You can just, get a membership at a gym, but actually not just go to the gym and just do a few things every now and then. Actually, like take part in classes and stuff like that. You want to mix some cardio in with some strength training, guys. Put that all together, and you will have better practical fitness for practical defense. All right. So I just wanted to go over that, guys. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about me, and remember, guys, it's our responsibility to take care of each other and protect each other. Peace.